In a way, very nearly everything in my life has happened here. I was baptised, confirmed and married at St George's Church on the Bridge. We had our wedding reception in the old mission hall, mostly because my husband wouldn't entertain the idea of going anywhere else or anything grander. I improved the look of it by noticing lots of fabric daisies in a Harrods window display. Went to Harrods and said, would they sell them to me when they didn't need them anymore? And I paid 10 shillings, 50p for the lot. And they said, could they take them to the car, madam? And I said, no, I was taking them home on the tube. But it was all worth it and lovely. And the wedding was lovely.
When I used to go to Michael Faraday's school, we used to have our sack races over here. All the parents used to do it with us as well, which was good. We used to do the wheelbarrow race, egg and spoon race. We used to do it on the grass down here, which was brilliant, brilliant.
The games we used to play, hide and seek, games children don't play today. Not as I know them anyway. Huge crowds of us would get together and just go off and play one game. You could do it. It was free and it was easy.
Well, we used to have the fun fair. They used to have the big fun fair on here. Because I used to go Silverthorne. We used to have Michael Faraday. We used to all come down here and meet up. It was great fun, great fun.
The area was very heavily bombed because it was close to all the railway lines which converge on London Bridge and so on. And that is why there was a particularly heavy level of bombing round here.
It got quite bombed. I mean, the houses in front of us got bombed. East Surrey Grove got bombed. Quite bad up there it was. There was quite a lot of damage all around there, really.
There was a lot of disruption at the time, so it wasn't altogether easy for people. As the facilities emerged, people welcomed them. But London in the post-war period was undergoing a lot of changes anyhow, and people were recovering from the effects of the war.
It was very heartbreaking. Don't get me wrong, it looks lovely now, but the memories are still there, especially when they knocked the houses down. That was a bit upsetting, especially for the older generation, not so much us, but like our nans and great nans and all that.
And as I say, my gran did not want to go. So she held out. And like I say, she did. She had squatters in living above her who were actually taking care of her.
The house that I lived in, it was 3 stories and there were 3 families in there. So the family that lived at the top, when they went up, they would walk past our bedrooms to get up there. They were all open. So when it actually came to the point of knocking your house down, and I was only a kid at the time, but the thought of having a bath. We never had a bath. If I ever had a bath, we used to go around to Manor Place. You go around there, pay some money, get a towel and a bit of soap, go into a little cubicle with a bath and be in there and wash yourself, and then hot water in number 7, and the geezer would turn a bit more hot water in there, and yeah. But as I say, it was from the houses, we were running along with mice and things. We didn't take any notice, just one of them things, but when they did knock the houses down, as a kid I was glad to go to and have a bath and all that.
So I used to come here with my children, and they had they used to have a paddling pool and the fountains and the waterfall and stuff. So I used to bring them there with my sister, and all through the summer holidays we used to bring them down having a picnic, and they'd just run around and get tired.
One thing I truly do remember, the park keeper's office house type thing, I think it was just a big office, but it used to be here. As you went in the park, it was there. And then there were gardens in front of it. And they always had a beautiful display of snapdragons. And I always used to love that because you could sit on the wall, you could smell the snapdragons and the bees and everything. And I used to think that was lovely. Really lovely. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there were a couple of benches where you could sit outside if you were a grown-up and you had your children there. I used to really love that in the park.
My happiest memories are the most recent ones, where we worked very hard to deliver an £8 million refurbished and revitalisation of the park the day when we opened, after it being closed for something like 8 months for the works, and just seeing those gates open and people walking in, it was a bright summer's day and people were just walking in with big smiles on their faces. It was a fantastic culmination of some very hard work that we'd had to have done.
People, they come out more because my understanding before, the park wasn't very friendly. It's more like a crime scene, to be honest. So now people are using the park a lot more.
My name's Simon Short. I work for the Parks and Open Spaces team. Cholmondeley Gardens within Burgess Park is a lovely square, a well-tended garden, and it's open to the public in the daytime, and it is quite simply a well-kept and beautiful place.
My favourite part is here, the gardens, and also when the different culture areas round the back, you've got all the different themes.
It's since I started volunteering, I realised they sort of a Caribbean garden and a Mediterranean garden. I didn't know it was there for until I started volunteering, and to see the lovely thing they do around there, it was wonderful, and I'm a part of it, I tell you, it's worth to see, something to see, and to know that we've done it, we helped to do it. It was wonderful.
I mean, my utter moment of astonishment was the first time I came here to Cholmondeley Gardens, when I realised this hidden gem of the International Gardens. And today coming through, I haven't been here probably for a couple of years, and it's just so beautifully done and such a jewel in the middle of not very exciting bits of land.
We have a bed around the back. We're allowed to plant things and see them grow, from nothing, dead bed, until they grow. It's wonderful.
This park is special because it depends on how you look at it, really. You have to think we've got Aylesbury Estate on one side and we've got the other estate on the other side. We have children in there looking for something to do, really. And this is right in the middle for the kids to use, for families to get out.
Across the bloody road, we don't have to get no bus.
Somewhere really nice to come to and to play, and it's really good for my grandson because he's nearly 6, so he can sort of run about and sort of be adventurous. But also my granddaughter is very adventurous and she loves to follow him. So, it's very nice. It's really nice somewhere to come.
Favourite thing about this park? The kids' park. That's the favourite part. Yeah, the new kids' park. I take my grandchildren, who have 5, and they come fishing as well. But that is the best part of the park, where the cafe is and the play centre and all that. Because it has 2 play centres over there, old and the babies as well. And it's got a little pool over there for the kids, which is good.
Sometimes groups of us have come and had barbecues here, and it's like big groups, big like afternoons in the summer, or just me and the kids just going and playing. I'd like them to remember climbing and being outdoors and exploring like the sand and walking on the logs and things like that.
As a youngster, I used to come down here with my friends and we used to play football over there in the AstroTurf.
My name's Alex and I'm in the park today just doing a bit of training with my mate. My favourite memory was when me and my friend who's in the park right now was playing football. It was raining and that grass over there, and it was heavy rain. We were just out here, just sliding, and yeah, it was wonderful.
The park was fortunate to have a great cricket enthusiast living in the area who made it his mission to bring together all the young people who themselves, through their families, came from branches of the Commonwealth where cricket is celebrated, and therefore they were able to continue their family involvement with cricket in Burgess Park. And that was their immediate connection with and enthusiasm for the park, and hopefully something which stayed with them for the rest of their lives.
You see a lot of people riding bikes, and this is a very good place where you can learn how to ride it. I got my new bike and I wasn't really sure how to ride it, so my dad took me to this park for the first time and I just learned. I just got on my bike and I just kept going until finally one day I just learned how to ride it. I felt very happy because after all my hard work I thought it did actually deserve a well done. My favourite memories of this park is probably when we come here and ride our bicycles and we see all our friends from school.
I love fishing and I spend most of my time over here. It's just so relaxing. I feel more tired when I come home from here than I do when I've done a day's work.
The pond, I'd say. Yeah, the pond is a nice feature. I like what they've done with it as opposed to what it was like before.
My favourite thing is the pond, where you can see all the dogs and you can fish and you can have a very relaxing time.
Well, when you catch a big fish, that's the best thing, yeah. Other than that, it's just peaceful, isn't it? It's relaxing.
Yesterday, some man caught a 24-pound carp. Yeah, that was epic, yeah. That was about a 2-hour journey, yeah. There's a lot of graft to it, yeah. It can take up to 2 hours to bring one of them in. They play with you all the time. In and out all the time. It's a buzz.
The best I've had out of here this year is £45. That's a big catfish. Just adrenaline. Your heart pumps and yes, it's very relaxing. Yeah, very nice.
Hi, my name's Tari and I'm a waitress at Park Life Cafe in Burgess Park. So it's nice scenery and everyone that comes in is nice, and a lot of children come in to buy food obviously because they play in the park and I like children, and everyone's really kind here.
My name is Mark Cox and I'm the head gardener here at Burgess Park. Favourite thing about the park is just seeing the park being used by the public, really. We're putting loads more plants in the space now, so after the original master plan, we put about 40,000 plants in, and the space is becoming much more colourful, much more varied, and I think people are really beginning to appreciate it. And when we get that feedback from people, it's makes us feel good as well.
Being with the Friends of Burgess Park, as Burgess Park Committee then, being with people who loved open spaces.
I think my happiest memories would have to be what makes me happy in the park is the fact that although you're in the middle of town, you're down in what is basically countryside. I mean, to a lot of people, the park is their countryside because they're not going to be able to get outside of London to experience the real thing. So, that's the nearest they're going to get to it. And I think that's my happiest time. From my bedroom as a child, there was a cottage about 100 yards, 150 yards up across the fields, but from then I couldn't see anything until any more buildings really until they got to the hills about 2 or 3 miles away. Whereas in London you can't do that, but you do get that chance in the park. You do get that chance to actually experience what it's like just to be almost in the middle of nowhere.
Certain parts of the park, you don't get the sound of the traffic. You don't suffer from excessive noise because the openness tends to cushion it.
It's just that open space and anyone can come into it.
It's quiet. You get to do what you want to do really, and it's just, I just love it because it's my local park as well.
I used to bring my dog over here as well. We used to always spend lots of time with our dog over here as well, which was nice.
I used to walk across the park as well to go to the planning office at Chiltern House, so I got a good view of the park as I was walking straight across. It's a wonderful shortcut in a way. There have been moments of great joy going through that park. Well, there still is when we go there.
Lots of space, lots of fresh air for the children, and I love the way they've done the lakes as well. It's beautiful. I'll tell you what, overwhelming. Really, really overwhelming. Really enjoy it. Really do enjoy it.
When we moved up to London, there seemed to be a distinct shortage of all this Eden effect. So that's why Burgess Park and all the other parks are precious to us. Everybody must have an open space. Run around, breathe, recreate, do what you want, but enjoy the open spaces while you still have them. That's why they're so precious.